Good morning and welcome to today's Caregiver Health and Wellness webinar, Intergenerational Kundalini Yoga class. My name is Allegra Jaffe and I am a caregiver specialist with the Fairfax Area Agency on Aging. Before I introduce today's speaker, I will go over a few housekeeping items. At the end of the session, we will allocate a few minutes for Q&A. You can submit your questions into the Q&A box on the Zoom panel. Closed captioning has been enabled. If you would like to utilize subtitles, you can enable them on the bottom of your Zoom box where it says closed captioning, and you can press show subtitles. Today's recording is being recorded, and a recording will be sent to all the registrants within a week. There will be also a brief survey as you sign out, so please help us by giving us your feedback. It's my pleasure to introduce today's teacher, Monique Deerfoos. Monique Deerfoos is the president of Sound Wellness, LLC. She is a Gong practitioner, 300-hour, KRI certified Kundalini yoga teacher, and Reiki practitioner. She can be found regularly sharing the latest in wellness on regional television, in podcasts, and in national magazines. Focusing on the needs of her students and clients, she provides an inviting and supportive atmosphere to her classes and private sessions. Just as a reminder, not all exercises are suitable for everybody. Please consult with your physician or other healthcare professionals before participating in this or any new fitness program. If you experience faintness, dizziness, pain, or shortness of breath at any time while exercising, you should stop immediately. If there is a posture that causes you pain, please sit down and visualize doing the exercise in your mind. Monique is going to share her expertise with us today. Thank you, Monique, and welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for making the time to take care of yourself so that you can be in better service for others. So I am going to step back onto my mat. I invite you to come back onto your mat. And if you do have a blanket, you always want your knees to be below your hips. And we're going to be focusing on lungs and circulation so that we have the energy that we need to both take care of ourselves and to be in service. So you're going to be feeling energy moving in this part of yourself. And as Allegra mentioned, if there's any exercise that is causing you pain, then simply come sitting down cross-legged, close your eyes down, and focus in your mind's eye and visualize yourself doing the exercise perfectly. This way you'll stay with us and you actually do get a benefit because of the mind-body connection. Fantastic, no? Also, for those of you who might be doing this in a chair or in a wheelchair, just modify as you need to and see which part of the body we're focusing on moving, and just move that to the best of your ability. The most important thing is that you're here and you're taking care of yourself with us this morning, and I'm so happy to see that. So we start a Kundalini class. What we do is called tuning in. So we're going to chant a short mantra, which is Om, O-N-G, Namo, Gurudev, Namo. And I'll chant it once and then join me for 3 times. Again, just hearing it is enough if chanting starts to feel like a little too much. So let's sit up nice and tall, and then let's rub the hands together, because there are acupressure points on the hands which are going to help support our hearts and our lungs. So rub, 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 rub. And then press your palms together, and then press the knuckles of your thumbs into the sternum. Sitting up nice and tall, relax the shoulders, and this is already creating a heart circuit. Let's take a few breaths together, inhaling deeply through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Inhale, exhale. One more time, inhaling deeply, exhaling. And I'll demonstrate the mantra. Take a deep inhale, suspend the breath in, set your intention for your practice this morning. And exhale. So we're just going to start with a few warm-ups, warm up the body. So sitting up nice and tall, we're going to focus on warming up the base of the spine. So sitting up nice and tall, pull the chin back. Keep your eyes closed once you get a feel for this. And we're going to just rotate the hips. So make circles. So inhales, you rotate back. Exhales, you rotate forward. Relax the shoulders. This is called Sufi Grind. And just focus on pressing the base of the spine into your mat or into your chair. Inhaling deeply as you rotate back. Exhaling as you rotate forward. To the extent that you can, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. It's a more controlled breath. If your mind is very active, and simply instruct it maybe to focus on inhale and exhale. In Kundalini, we also use the mantra Sat Nam. It means truth is my identity. And we visualize the word Sat, S-A-T, in our minds on the inhale, Nam, N-A-M on the exhale. And then change direction. Continuing to inhale deeply as you rotate back. Exhaling as you rotate forward. Taking your time, making your perfect circle. Continuing to press the sits bones into your mat, into your chair. Just a few more. Breathing through any points of tension or discomfort. And again, if there's pain, simply sit still and visualize yourself in your mind's eye doing the exercise perfectly. And then just continue on the next exercise. Inhale deeply, sitting up nice and tall. And exhale. Now we're going to focus on the lower spine. So sitting up nice and tall, holding that front shin and ankle. If you're sitting in a chair, you may want to suspend or hold onto the fronts of your knees because we want to isolate the movement in the lower back. So sitting up nice and tall, and again, pulling the chin back slightly. We're going to inhale, pull on that front ankle and shin, and then exhale around the spine. So it's like riding a camel. Inhale forward, exhale. We don't want to drop the head because again, we want to isolate that movement. Inhale, breathe into the lower back. Exhale, round the spine. And by pulling on that front ankle and shin, we can exaggerate the movement, bringing in greater flexibility. And as we inhale in deeply, we're bringing energy into that part of ourselves. So it's your pace, it's your spinal flex. A few more. Really exaggerating that inhale, sticking out the chest, and then really exaggerating the rounding of the spine as you exhale. And then inhale to center, suspend the breath, and simply allow that energy to circulate in the body. Just breathe into that part of yourself that you were just engaging. We have prana, that's life force energy that comes in through the breath as well as through food. So just inhale into that part of yourself and simply observe. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And let's warm up the legs. So bring your legs out into a V. Again, if you're sitting in a chair, if you can touch your toes, I encourage you to do that. If not, again, just sitting quietly and visualize yourself joining us in class in your mind's eye. So lift the fleshy parts, if you are on your mat, off of your sits bones. Some of those have a little bit more than others. And that just helps with your posture. So you want to feel a little bit of a stretch in the inner thighs. And then we're going to inhale, stretch the arms up, and focus on elongating the spine. And then pivot to the left, and as you exhale, it's not so much about getting your head down. Think about, again, elongating the spine. So reaching out, 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 pressing that right sits bone down, and then holding on to your toes, your shin, maybe it's your knee. And again, just feel, where's that comfortable stretch? And then you can drop the head. And just take a deep inhale here, and as you exhale, just allow yourself to come a little bit more deeply into that stretch. And then inhale to center, chin is straight, and just lift, lift, lift. We're making space in parts of our lungs that we don't always necessarily breathe into. And then pivot to the right. And again, elongate the spine. Keep that left sits bone down on your mat. Stretch, 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 holding toes, ankles, shins, knees, wherever you are. And then when you feel a comfortable stretch, release the head, so we don't want to put pressure on the neck. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, just allow yourself to come in a little bit more deeply into the posture. And we'll do a few more on each side. Again, inhaling to center, stretch, stretch, stretch. Make yourself 10 feet tall. And then pivot to the left. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Keeping that right sits bone down. Coming into your stretch where you are today is exactly where you're meant to be. Relaxing the shoulders. And inhale into center. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then exhale as you pivot to the right. Taking a deep inhale. Exhaling. And then again. Inhale to center. Last one on each side. Coming down to the left. Inhaling to center. And then exhaling right. Deep stretch. And then inhale, bring your legs together, give them a nice little shake. And now we're ready to start what we call the Kriya, the series of exercises for lungs and circulation. So I'm going to invite you to come standing up. And we're going to press together, if you can, the thumb and the pinky finger. So feet are hip width apart. Again, if you're in a chair, just have your feet hip width apart, firmly planted on the ground. And then we're going to inhale up and then make big circles in a backward motion. So we're inhale up, stretch back. And really feel the opening of the shoulders, feel that full range of motion. As you're breathing deeply, it's your pace, your exercise. Obviously, the faster you go, the more energy you're moving. It's completely up to you. Inhale as the arms come up, exhale as they come down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Feet are planted firmly into the ground. So starting to open up your lungs. Also starting to support your upper lymph glands. Beautiful. If your mind starts getting active, simply bring it back to your mantra, Sat Nam, or bring it to inhale, exhale. Our minds tend to get very active when they get annoyed. Instruct it to support your physical body, your spirit. A few more. Allow that chest to expand. Really allowing the shoulders to drop as the arms come down. And then inhale deeply, arms extended straight out. Pull the shoulder blades down. Exhale, release. And just take a moment here and just breathe again into that part of yourself you were just engaging. There's nothing else you need to do, just breathe. Inhale deeply, exhale. Staying standing up with feet hip width apart. We're going to bring our thumbs in and make soft fists. And then we're going to reverse that motion. So this time, the arms are coming up and forward. Really stretching those arms up, Ideally, no bend in the arms. This is countering the first exercise, continuing to support the lungs, in case you hadn't felt it. A few more. Inhale, stretch the arms out, stretch, 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 stretch. Pull the shoulder blades down. Exhale, open the fists and simply float your hands down and breathe. Breathe deeply. If you need a little reprieve, you can take a quick sniff of an inhale and then a slow exhale. Quick sniff, inhale, and then a slow exhale. When your exhale is longer than your inhale, it helps your heart to recover more easily. So remember that if you're ever in a stressful situation. So staying again, standing up, we're going to incorporate mantra, which is har, H-A-R. If you can't roll your R's, then simply pronounce it hud, H-U-D. And each time we chant, we're going to engage that navel point, so 2 to 3 finger widths below the belly button, your point of chi. So we want to strengthen that and really move the energy through the body. So let me demonstrate and then we'll do it together. So we start with our arms up, and then we're going to fold forward, and then we're going to we're going to 7 times hit the ground, and each time we're going to chant hud or hud, and remember to engage the navel. If you're sitting in a chair and you're not comfortable touching the ground, then I invite you to simply hit your thighs with a little bit of pressure, but obviously we don't want to hurt ourselves. All right, so let's begin. Inhale deeply, exhale, fold forward, hud, 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 hud. Arms up, hari. Again, fold forward, hud, 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 hud. Hari. As you come forward, release the head, hud, 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 hud. Hari. When you come up, look straight ahead, fold forward, hud, 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 hud. Hari. 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 A few more times. Hud, 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 hud. Hari. Hud, 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 hud. Hari. Take a deep inhale. Stretch the arms up. Exhale, float the arms down. And again, simply breathe. Breathe into that navel point. It's at that point of chi that the energy, it's like a hub and spoke system, and it goes out into the 62,000 energy channels of the body. And that's why we always want to keep that point of chi, that third chakra, really supported so energy moves easily through the body. Take a deep inhale, exhale, and then join me down on your mat. apply what we call breath of fire, which again is activating that point of chi. Ladies, if this is the heaviest part of your monthly cycle, or if you're expecting, then just apply long, deep breathing. For everyone else, it's like a dog panting, but we do it with the mouth closed. So you focus on the exhale as you're pulling that navel point in. It takes a little time to get used to, but it's very effective for supporting that part of ourselves. So our legs are extended, and you have a few options here. So hands, fingers are facing away from the body, and you can either lift both legs, or one at a time. You decide. You may also want to modify and be down on your elbows. If you're in a chair or a wheelchair, simply lift alternate legs as you apply that breath of fire. Keeping that chest lifted. Stay with me, it's a short exercise. Inhale deeply. Exhale, release the legs, release the arms. And again, simply breathe. Inhaling deeply, exhaling completely. Just breathe into that navel point. Just have that awareness without judgment. What do you sense? It's also the energy center for our identity, our willpower. So just check in. Then take a deep inhale. Exhale. And then come back into that posture. And this time, I like it with fingers, actually in this case, facing towards my feet. And then we're again going to apply that breath of fire. Once you have that, then extend the legs, and we're going to crisscross. Maybe your knees are a little bent, chest is lifted, and maybe you just move one leg at a time. You decide. We like to work through challenges, but we respect pain. Maybe you're down on your elbows. Meet your body where you are today. Stay with me. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Just keeping the eyes closed. Breathe into that part of yourself. That was the hardest exercise, in case you were. Take a few more breaths into your navel center. Remembering if your heart needs help recovering, just take a quick sniff. And then a slow exhale. Ideally through the nose, but it can also be through pursed lips, because through pursed lips you have a more controlled breath. So you can so just see what's most supportive. So keep sitting in what we call easy pose, so basically cross-legged. And we're going to again apply the breath of fire. And this time we're going to use our, let me show you from the side, sitting up nice and tall, chin comes back slightly, and then we're going to raise the arms, lift the chest, pull the shoulder blades down, take the pressure off of the shoulders, and we're simply going to crisscross the arms from shoulder width really stretch those fingertips to stretch the arms. Finding your rhythm for your breath of fire today. Inhale deeply, stretch the arms in front of you. Pull the shoulder blades down, lift the chest. Exhale, slowly release the hands and simply breathe. Breathe into that part of yourself that you're just engaging. Feed it with prana. Staying present. If your mind is active, remember to use your mantra, Sat Nam, or inhale, exhale. Because we want to be more in our hearts than in our heads. And then inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And we're going to come into what we call baby pose. This is also a great posture without the breath of fire before you go to bed. So we ideally want our head down on our mats and our hands at our sides as we're sitting on our knees. So we're all designed a little bit differently. So let's say I bring my head down, but my hips are up. Then I want to put a folded blanket or a bolster here because I want my hips to be relaxed, right? Because if I do this, I'm going to shake and that's not very relaxing. Maybe I put a bolster under my head. If you're in a chair, then I just invite you to rest your hands on your thighs, close your eyes down, and still apply that breath of fire if that feels supportive to you. So coming down into child's pose, and then again applying breath of fire. Continuing to find your rhythm for your breath of fire. Or your long, deep breathing. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And just breathe into your head, into your eyes, into your brain, because that posture with that breathing exercise is really bringing a flush of energy to that part of yourself. So just take a few breaths. Come up if you need to. We are going to come back down in that pose, but just take a moment. If it feels supportive, you feel the need to sit up, then sit up. This is your practice. And then inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Now the last active exercise that we're going to do is we're going to come back into child's pose. We are again going to apply that breath of fire. And this time we're going to interlock our hands behind us, and we're going to raise them up as far as you can, ideally perpendicular to the ground, and then back down again. If your shoulders are tight, then I encourage you to use a towel so that you can really open up the shoulders more than you'd be able to without. And in that case, you would be doing this. So whether you're using a towel or a strap, if you're fancy and you have a yoga strap, or without, if you feel your shoulders are open enough, then you're simply going to interlace your fingers behind your back and then lift up and bring them down. So apply that breath of fire and raise the arms up and down. If you're in a chair, in a wheelchair, and this doesn't work for you, then again, simply sitting there with your eyes closed, come into your mind's eye, into your third eye, and simply visualize yourself doing the exercise perfectly, and you will still get that benefit. So see what works best for you in this last exercise of the Kriya. Really stretching the arms, ideally not having a bend in the elbows, and coming perpendicular to the ground. Don't hyperextend, just come straight up to 90 degrees. Last little bit. Inhale deeply, stretch the arms up. Exhale, release the hands. Take a moment and come sitting up and simply breathe into that part of yourself you were just engaging. This actually strengthens your aura, your electromagnetic field, which is a real thing. And when it's strong, it supports good health. It supports anything we would label as positive. I'll leave it at that. If you have a weak electromagnetic field, then there are opportunities for greater internal dis-ease. I like to think of that, whether it's physical or it's mental. So just take a few breaths. Did a great job. And then I invite you to come lying down on your mat for what we call Shavasana, or deep relaxation. So you did all of this hard work. And so you just want to give your body some time for that energy to be able to circulate. So just come lying down, or if you're in your chair, maybe you want to put a blanket on, and just palms up, and just relax. I'm going to put on a little bit of music, close your eyes down, and simply breathe. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Take another deep inhale. Begin to rotate your wrists and your ankles in one direction. And then slowly in the opposite direction. Take a deep inhale. Stretch your arms towards the wall behind you. If you're in a chair, straight up. And your pointed toes in the opposite direction, and just breathe into a full body stretch from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers. And exhale, release the arms. If you're on your mat, and hug your knees into your chest. Rock from side to side a few times, massaging the spine. And then beginning to rock forward and back a few times, really coming all the way up onto the shoulders, if you can, to massage the full length of the spine. And then rock yourself up into a seated position for this morning's meditation. The beautiful thing that I love about Kundalini Yoga is that we always include a meditation. So you're moving all of this energy in what we call the Kriya, the exercises, and then the energy is already kind of activated and it's moving, so you can have a deeper meditation. And at the end of the day, I find it's all about the meditation. That's just me. So today's meditation is called Meditation for a Calm Heart. And I think these days when there is a lot of stress, there's anxiety, all of you in these roles and the conditions that you're dealing with, obviously is adding another layer to that. So I wanted to share this beautiful meditation with you, just to calm the heart. It calms the nerves. Yeah, it's just beautiful. It's very sweet. So we're going to be sitting up nice and tall. Chest is lifted, relax the shoulders, and then bring your left hand across the center of your chest. And you want fingers are together, and you want your fingers pointing to the right. Relax your elbow. We did all the hard work earlier. And then with your right hand, you're going to press together your thumb and your pointer finger, what we call Gyan Mudra, and stretch the other three fingers straight up. So it looks like that. And then again, relax that right shoulder and that right elbow. And it's like you're taking an oath. So again, left hand is straight, right hand is at your side. And then we're simply going to apply a breath. So we're going to exhale completely till we slightly contract the abdominals, and then start that first long, deep breath. Maybe it's 3 counts, 3 seconds, maybe it's 10. You decide what it is. So we're going to exhale completely. Begin that long, deep inhale. Expand the rib cage, expand the chest. And then once our lungs are filled to capacity, we're going to suspend the breath in. And that's where you can start to feel a little agitated, and you know you can exhale anytime you want. But by kind of fighting that chatter in your mind and just easing into that sensation, it'll help bring that sense of calm to the heart. And then we're going to exhale when we need to, very slowly rolling that energy down and slightly contracting the abdominals, and then again suspending the breath out. And that again is an uncomfortable feeling, right? Because we want to breathe, we want to live. But intellectually we know we can inhale anytime we need to. So just again, ease into that sensation of suspending the breath out to bring that calm to the heart. And then when you are ready, then you take that next deep inhale. Suspend the breath in as long as you comfortably can, and it can change with each breath. It's an exploration. It's an exploration of your breath, exploration of emotions. And then simply exhale long and deeply, kind of like rolling. Visualize the energy like a wave coming towards the shore, just rolling gently, gently down through the lungs, the diaphragm, until you slightly contract the abdominals, and then begin again. So we're inhaling deeply, suspending the breath in as long as we comfortably can, working through that agitation, that fear, and then exhaling slowly when we need to. We're not challenging ourselves, we're simply observing. And then suspending the breath out as long as you comfortably can. Continue to relax the elbows at your side, Eyes are closed down. Inhaling deeply, suspending the breath in. Exhaling completely, suspending the breath out. Continue to lengthen your inhale and your exhale as long as you comfortably can, exploring extending, suspending the breath in, as well as suspending the breath out. And make this your last complete cycle of inhaling deeply, suspending the breath in, and then slowly exhaling, suspending the breath out. And then take a deep inhale. As you exhale, simply release the hands, rest them comfortably on your thighs or on your knees. Eyes remain closed. And just breathe into that which you've created for yourself, within yourself. Inhale. Exhale. And then we'll close out the class with a long Sat Nam. Sounds like S-U-T-N-A-M. So please bring your hands into prayer pose, pressing the knuckles of the thumbs into the sternum, sitting up nice and tall. Take a deep inhale to begin. Nam. May you find greater ease, greater joy in your beautiful hearts, coming back to the sense of stillness and vibrancy, just as you are, no more, no less. Beautifully perfect in the moment, this moment. Satnam. Thank you all so much. I sense everyone did a beautiful job. So I'm just going to come in closer and turn it over to Allegra. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Monique. Thank you. We have a few minutes together. So at this point, I would like to invite our audience to submit your questions. You can use the Q&A box and I will read the questions to Monique as they come in. Monique, I do have a question. What are the health benefits of yoga and meditation?
Great question. So we can obviously increase flexibility, but it's not only flexibility of the body, because so many people will say, oh, but I'm not flexible. I've found over 30 plus years of doing yoga, it's more flexibility of the mind, right? It's how do I quiet down that chatter, come more into my heart, and accept myself where I am in the moment. So I find that's the greatest benefit, but then there are also, with Kundalini yoga, because we're working specific meridians, so you can actually support, like we did heart and lung today. There's a series of exercises, let's say for your adrenal glands, if you're very stressed, right? Who isn't? We can do that. And then it's obviously been shown to reduce blood pressure, being mindful, so being more present, so you're not so worried, you're not in the past, you're not anxious, not thinking about the future. Those are just a few.
Oh, terrific, thank you. For family caregivers who have children and maybe they're caring for their older adults in their lives as well, how do you can get them engaged doing yoga and meditation together? Do you have tips on that?
Yeah, I think with younger children, because I've worked with younger children who have a lot of energy, I always suggest going to a playground, doing something to burn off some of that energy, because even though any form of yoga is obviously going to get your heart rate up, I find for the kids to more easily be able to focus, burn off a little bit of that energy, and then come together as a family and start simply. Right? You can even, let's say 20 minutes of yoga. And I always encourage people, the meditation is where we really, I find where we come back to our beautiful heart centers. So I would encourage people, whatever form of yoga you do, then take a little break, a little shavasana, deep relaxation, a little recovery time. And then even just 3 minutes of meditation already affect the blood chemistry, just 3 minutes. So I encourage making that part of that routine. Yeah.
That's actually a segue to this other question about time constraints, especially caregivers are usually really tight on time, taking care of others. So can yoga and meditation be done in a quick time frame?
Absolutely. And you're seeing that trend. Whereas when I started with Kundalini yoga, classes were always 75 minutes long. And now they're an hour. And there are even There's actually one Kriya or one Kundalini exercise you can do that's actually exercise plus meditation in one. And it's like 3 minutes of that. It's called Sat Kriya. It takes a little bit of focus and some practice, so that's why we didn't do it today, but happy to share it another time. So again, also Kundalini Yoga was called the everyday person's yoga, because you can get such quick results because it focuses on specific meridians and it's not just about flexibility and movement. So definitely, I was a caretaker. I took care of my elderly mother for many years before she passed on. So I completely get the time constraints. And you can break it up, right? You could do your yoga, your exercises, your asanas at one time, and then do your meditation later. I mean, we all have to be practical, but getting in that routine of including the meditation, again, even just 3 minutes, I think is profound, especially for those who are caretakers, yeah, or going through challenging health issues. Mm-hmm.
Terrific. Well, I thank you again so much. And we're going to get ready to wrap up. We're past our hour together. So as you sign out, there will be that brief survey. Please take a moment to answer those questions and help us provide topics that you are interested in. Again, Monique, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and for teaching us today. It was terrific. And to everyone in our audience, we thank you for being here. Our intergenerational workshop will be next Saturday, June 25th from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. And that will be From Me to You Intergenerational Drama class. Hope you can join us then. And I hope everyone has a terrific afternoon. Thank you again, Monique.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.